Hey everyone, Mike on Monday coming to you. Yes, we're out in the field finally. Sun is shining. We're in North Plymouth, a couple of miles or so, looking at a cornfield here. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and basically what I wanted to show you is that some of this is occurring from the standpoint of what's happening with our grain. So we've got an area of the field that we found where the ears are pointing up, and what you'll find this year is not just necessarily the hybrid itself, but the area of a field that ears are pointing up. So with all this rain that we've had the past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of moisture trying to get in. We've pulled back the husk on these plants, and we found that in the case of this guy, just where that husk was tight, we pull that back, we've got some sprouts. So we had moisture sitting here, enough to get this plant to actually sprout. The kernel's right on the cob itself, and right next to it, this one didn't sprout, but we did end up beginning some diseases on the ear. What this is slowly going to continue to do is get worse. So this was going to drive down grain quality, test weight, etc. And the best thing that we can do is work towards getting this material harvested. So if the ears were pointing down across the field, the water drained out, creating a little more security for that grain. But where you have areas of the field that it was pointed up, we have a higher risk of some of this moisture. So even though a lot of folks that I work with kind of like those drier temperatures, drier moisture points on the corn, getting it below 20, etc., etc. When you start finding ears that are compromised like this and beyond, the best thing you can do is try to get that field harvested. So if it'll carry, try and get those fields off and out of the way through the dryer, because the dryer is going to help arrest the mold and the sprouting and reduce the amount of impact on test weight that you're going to have at this point. So that's in addition to the weak stalks that we've talked about. Again, we've had some pretty high winds again the past week or so, and we're continue to see our plants are starting to break down. It's a natural process, but we'd prefer to see that process occurring after we get the grain harvested, knowing that it's easier to harvest corn that's standing. So get out there, take a look. If you can go, my recommendation is start working away at that corn. I went for a ride out to Dodgeville and back and took different routes out and back. I saw 5 combines on Saturday. They all had tracks. The carts had tracks. The tractors had tracks. And everyone was just doing corn out of those 5 combines. No beans are moving at the moment for obvious reasons, but we have the ability to go after corn in certain cases. Let's consider getting after some of that corn. So let's move on to the winter wheat and the cereal rye. The questions I've been getting a little bit this week: can I still plant winter wheat and the cereal rye? I'll take the easy one first. Cereal rye, absolutely. That one can go in the ground just almost all the way up to freeze up. It'll still germinate at that 33, 34 degree soil temperature. So if you've got rye planned, figure on you're going to get that opportunity to put it in the ground. Winter wheat, a little different. We still have a window here through October, early November, if we continue to have open ground. What we would recommend at that point, though, is that get into that 1.6, 1.7 million pure live seeds per acre for that population. So you want to overplant, and you want to make sure you're getting that seed in the ground no less than an inch. Put it into the warm soil. The soil is warmer than the air right now, as well as getting that seed that deep is going to give more winter protection for the crown of those plants. A lot of times what I see in damage is the crown gets killed because the seeds are too close to the surface, And that tends to occur quite a bit on the headlands where we've got more traffic, a lot of compaction, etc. So if you're running into that, the seeds aren't in the ground, slow down, let the drill do its job. You let that spring tension push that seed into the ground. Make adjustments for those headlands. So with that, we do have seed available on the winter wheat side. Call ahead. We'll make sure we get something in position for you. And in the case of rye, we're trying to keep that inventory pretty close. If you need it, we'll get it for you, but we don't have a good way out of it if you order it and not use it. It creates a carryover situation that's tougher to work with. So if your intention is to get it in the ground, we'll go and get that seed for you for certain. With that, in Plymouth, in a sunny day in a cornfield, think about how you want to manage that harvest. Mike on Monday. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.